So, as I said, the story begins with somebody's pregnant. Mary's face when she was told she's pregnant. Can you just imagine this little girl, right? And how she must have felt. The angel appears to her, right? Most of you know the story, and says, "You're pregnant." And she says, what? How can this be? Right? That's the start of Advent. Something wonderful is about to happen. Many of you have that bumper sticker, don't you? Still, to this day. We gave that out 15 years ago. Yeah. But the truth of it is, and you've heard me say this probably over the last 10 years, on the first Sunday of Advent, I'm going to tell each and every one of you, male and female, you're all pregnant. You're all pregnant. During the Advent season, something wonderful is about to happen. You are pregnant with possibilities. Yes, guys, this even goes for you. You are pregnant with creativity. You are pregnant with dreams, with the sky's the limit. This story is about each and every one of us. It is not just about Mary. The story goes way deeper. One of my favorite Sundays to do during Advent is when we metaphysically interpret the entire nativity scene. That's happening December 22nd. You're going to want to be here. The meaning of Advent, let's show that, is what? The arrival of a notable person, thing, or event. The arrival, as we would see it, in Christian faith would say, it's the arrival of the Christ child. In unity, we say it's the Christ outside of you. Come on, nobody caught that? That is not correct. I want to see if anybody's listening. Every now and then I make these slip-ups just to see if anybody's listening. And none of you reacted. I'm concerned. Do I need to throw cold water on you? Let's try that again. The Christ outside of you is your hope of glory. How many of you were raised, though, to think that way? That the Christ outside there was your hope of glory. In unity and new thought, we say it's the Christ where? Within is your hope of glory. And it actually says that in the Bible. It says the Christ in you is your hope of glory. So if you want to discuss, well, it's not in the Bible. Yes, it is. Oh, that's another whole, I can get all started on that one, let me tell you. Let's go to the next slide. Always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. That's what Advent is about. We're excited that something is coming. Something new inside of me has the opportunity to come forth and bring it forth to the world, just like the baby child, Christ child, was born to bring that child forth to the world, to make a difference in our world. And each and every one of us during this Advent season, we have it all the time. But Advent is when we really focus on getting and taking time for what really matters, what truly matters. Let's go to that next slide, please. What did the angel, when the angel appeared to Mary, to bring her good news, what did the angel say to Mary? Do not be afraid. Who needs to hear that message right now in your life? Whether it's with your family, whether it's with whatever is going on out there in the news, whether it's a car accident and your loved one was involved in it and you're thanking God that no one was hurt. Whatever that is. It's a big statement. What did the angels say when the angel appeared to the shepherds? Do not be afraid. For what? Let's throw that next slide. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. So if you truly believe, and you take on this new thought concept, and it's not new thought, it's ancient thought, and it is in the Bible, that the Christ in you is your hope of glory, then how can you ever be without that Christ? How can you ever be without it? So there's nothing to fear. How's that go? But fear itself. I'm talking to me as well here, people. Because lots of things can hook me very quickly and get me afraid. Okay? I turn on my news app on Sunday mornings because I need to know if there's been some kind of thing, crisis, something in the world that I need to not be ignorant when I show up here in front of you. And it's like I get to practice that every Sunday morning. Because when you turn on your news app, there's not, here's the good news for this morning. Right? So it's easy to get hooked in that very quickly for me. And I have to work my way through that. Because there is nothing to be afraid of but fear itself, people. And when we get hooked in fear, that's where control happens, and what some people would call the devil takes over. I may hit this at the end. Something just came to me. I'm going to move to our affirmation right now because I think it's appropriate for what I put down here today. And I think I wrote this one too. I'm not sure. I am grounded in faith. Therefore, my hope is relentless. Let's say it together. I am grounded in faith. Therefore, my hope is relentless. You can't have hope unless you have faith. You need to be grounded in faith. And when you're grounded in faith, you will always turn to hope. You will always turn to hope. When you are feeling hopeless, what is it that we're losing? Faith. Doesn't that make sense when you think about this? Let's say it again. I am grounded in faith. Therefore, my hope is relentless. Oh, I love that. Relentless. We're being called in our world to have more faith because there are people losing hope. There are people in our world losing hope. And we are being called to be grounded in our faith more and more and more. And how do you do that?
Every day I learn and grow.
You say I am statements.
Whole, strong, and creative.
One more.
I am honest and stand up for what is right.
I love this button. Anyway, it's that easy, people. And if you're too tired and you're too lazy to write an affirmation, all you have to do is go to Google or just, guess what? You can even say, Alexa, tell me an affirmation. She'll do it. Oh, somebody's Alexa. I can't make that one up. It just spoke through her iPad. Sorry, Alexa, I didn't mean to bother you. So, I'm telling you, I am now switching gears, but I'm not really, because it's all in alignment to Advent and the first Sunday of Advent. Faith and hope. Who is familiar with the Grinch who stole Christmas? Who is familiar with Whoville? Who's familiar with the Who's? Who live in Whoville? You want to talk about a community that is grounded in faith and their hope is relentless? Oh, let's watch that clip.
Woe to the Who's, he was grinchily humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. He paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
This is after the Grinch has stolen all their Christmas presents, all their decorations, all the trees. He's taken it all. And they're still out there singing. And watch the light.
But this sound wasn't sad. What? This sound sounded glad. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same.
So what's that got to do with you and me? Right? The Grinch tried. He wanted them to cry boo-hoo. He wanted to hear them be sad. He wanted them to join his misery, right? And the Who's wouldn't have it. They said, the heck with it. We don't have presents. We don't have our tree. But we have each other. Let me read you. Just, there's no meaning to their gibberish in the song, right? But their key line is, welcome Christmas Day. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp. Christmas Day will always be, just as long as we have we. Christmas Day will always be, just as long as we have we. So, why did I pick that clip? I picked that clip because there are, some of you have experienced this over Thanksgiving holiday. There are people who are negative Nellies. Grinch would be a negative Nelly. There are people who want us to have fear, right? It can be family members. It can be even your coworkers, a boss. You know who they are, and they want you to have fear. And because they want to cause you to diminish your faith, diminish your hope. And this movie to me just speaks so loudly of they didn't give in. No matter what that Grinch was going to do to them, they didn't give in to the fear and the hopelessness. Their hope was relentless. Relentless. Let's go to that next slide, please.
Oh, to the... The Who's he
Nope.
was grinchily humming.
I think that's
They're
the same
finding out
video.
now
No?
that no Christmas is coming. They're just waiting
That's the
up.
one
I
we
know
just saw.
just what they'll do. Them
So we
mouths
just need
will
to skip
hang
to
out
the
for a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all...
This is the one we just saw, where he goes, boo-hoo. There we go. Okay, thank you. Just because a person smiles all the time...
Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
No.
Maybe
I'm
Christmas...
going to try and block that out, the sound. There we go. This is the slide. God bless the flexible, for we won't get bent out of shape. Just because a person smiles all the time doesn't mean their life is perfect. That smile is a symbol of hope and strength. Isn't that the truth? Because there are people that accuse me of, she's always happy. Or she's had a charmed life. Most of you know I have not. Right? Far from it. But I do smile because I didn't realize this till I found this quote. And I'm like, it's the truth. My faith is grounded and my hope has always been relentless. No matter what. I gave into the fear, or I gave into the trauma, I gave into the depression, but I didn't stay there. I did not stay there. Thank God I started learning these teachings, these new thought teachings that told me I'm in charge of how I feel. Not my circumstances, not the people around me. I'm in charge. And once I realized that, my faith grew. My faith grew. And when my faith grew, my hope became relentless. You have an opportunity right now to really look at how your faith is wavering. And if it is, get into the kindness practice. Get into the gratitude journal. You've got tools. So if you're dropping down this Christmas season, you have tools to bring yourself back up. And there's lots of feel-good Christmas movies out there. I'm going to tell you, stay away from Bad Santa. There's some really bad, disgusting Christmas movies out there. Stay away from them. You know what the good ones are. You would think I'd be sick of watching It's a Wonderful Life. I can't wait to watch it. I can't. I've watched The Grinch because of this talk probably 4 times. I'm not sick of it. I'm just not. Let's go to that next slide, please. There we go. Faith is having the courage to let God have control. That is a woo moment, isn't it? Having the courage to let God have control. Yeah. That is, go to the next one, is trusting divine order. During these times of uncertainty, I trust divine order. During these times of uncertainty, whatever that is for you, I trust divine order. Everything is in divine order. We got somebody in our church, if you recognize the name Debbie Wilhelm. Many of us have been holding her in prayer. She has a prayer blanket. She's in ICU. This woman has had multiple autoimmune diseases, cancer, now open heart surgery. I got a message from her last night. She's in ICU. She has not lost hope. If you could hear the frailty in her voice on this message. But it is full of hope And I asked myself, how can that be? And then I realized, because I've had many talks with her, her faith is strong and her hope is relentless. She trusts divine order. She's not afraid if it's her time. But she also doesn't want to go. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, with that, let's show the clip from the movie that was the title of my talk today.
Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. Namaste. That Christ in me, not outside of me, but that Christ in me truly sees that Christ, your hope of glory, in each and every single one of you. Namaste.